DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Topic of this video is you eat too much, and that is not a metaphor. Actually, this is a real topic that I want to talk about. I just came from Whole Foods, and I was at the Hot Bar. And you know, at the Hot Bar at the grocery stores, you can put whatever foods you want. You just pick the foods, you put them in a little container. One benefit that I've gotten, because I get my meals delivered. I get meal delivery service. I get meals 6 days a week, and then 1 day a week is more open day where I try other stuff and go get food from different places. So today I went and got my food from the Hot Bar at Whole Foods. And one benefit of getting a meal delivery service is you realize after you've been using it for a while how much food we overeat in the United States of America. This is specific to America because in other countries this doesn't happen. I've been to other countries, and I've been to a lot of other countries and ate food in all those places, and they don't put nearly as much food on their plates. When you go to a restaurant, for example, in America, when you go to a restaurant, they put like 2.5 times as much food as is on my plate when I get a meal delivered from my meal delivery service. We eat way too much food, and because the human mind is set up, our minds are wired for completion. So if you put a whole bunch of food on somebody's plate, for the most part, they're going to eat all the food, because we've been trained our whole lives to eat all the food, and because our minds are just set up this way. You give whatever you put on the plate, somebody's going to eat it. And often when I first started getting meal delivery services, I would look at the food that was in the container, and I'm like, this is not enough food. When I get done eating this, I'm still going to be hungry. This meal is too small. And I would start thinking, maybe I don't need a meal delivery service. Maybe these people are they're not giving me my money's worth and all that. I would start thinking that. Then I would heat the food up, eat it. And then when I got done eating, I wasn't hungry anymore. And I realized, damn, maybe I'm just used to eating way more food than I actually need to be eating. So nowadays, when I go to the Hot Bar at Whole Foods, I remember I used to go there sometimes and get food, and you do when you check out, and I use the self-checkout, I would end up getting like $18 worth of food, $17 worth of food when you weigh the container and see how much it was. Today, I just got 2 meals, and the 2 meals, one was $9, the other one was $11, because I have realized that now I can control myself mentally with portion control with how much food I put in the container, because I would always put way too much food in there. And I had seen this guy. Now, I don't know this dude's situation, so who knows who he was getting food for, but he was by himself, and he was a short guy. He was probably 5'10", white guy, skinny, and I got 2 containers with 2 meals. One was $9, one was $11. This dude had the same size container as me, but he was putting so much food in there, and this dude was little. He was putting so much food in it. He had more food in his one container than I had in both of my containers put together. And I'm way bigger than him. Now, again, I don't know his situation. Maybe he was getting food for the whole family. Maybe he was getting enough food to cover him for the whole day. Who knows? But this dude was putting so much food in that container. And the thing is, I just thought of it when I thought of this topic when I saw his container. But, excuse me. When I see people, especially at places where you can basically choose how much food you eat, people put so much food on their plates, like at a buffet or at the Hot Bar where you can choose how much goes in there. We put way, way, way too much food in our containers, and this is why America is the most obese country in the world, even though we are supposed to be the richest or second richest country in the world. We've got all these great innovators and entrepreneurs and idea people and great thinkers, yet we got all this obesity simply because it's available to us, number one, and secondly, a lot of people don't understand the concept of portion control. And this is a very important thing, because everybody's heard the phrase health is wealth. No matter how much money you're making, how smart you are, how much you invest into your personal and professional lives, if your body fails, it's a wrap. It's all over. Doesn't matter how much money you have made. Doesn't matter how successful your business is. Well, hopefully you've been successful financially. I mean, your kids will be taken care of when you're dead, but you're dead if your body fails. And unlike a business, unlike a job or a relationship, if that gets destroyed, you can't go get another one. You can't go start another body if your body fails. It's over for you. And you won't be able to enjoy the rest of your life with everything that you created for yourself. That's why it's so important that we take care of our bodies. And one way we can do this is to get more structure in what we put in our body. Notice I didn't say more discipline, more structure. So the structure aids the discipline. So all you got to do to be more disciplined in what you're doing is just understand that you don't need to eat as much food as you think you do. Simple idea. Here's the one tip I'll give you, the actionable thing. When you have the option of choosing how much food to put on your plate, which most of us do almost all the time, unless you're at a restaurant where they give you the food, there you can't control it. But other than that, when you have the option of choosing how much food to put on your plate, put less than you think you need. And if you are still hungry, after you eat what you put on your plate initially, go back and get more. That's the discipline. Put the food on your plate, and if you need more, go back and get more. That's it. Now, not everybody's going to be able to follow this. Let me back up. Not everybody is going to follow this discipline. Everyone is able to follow it. Not everybody is going to follow this discipline simply because people are creatures of habit. We get used to living a certain way and doing things a certain way, and it's hard for us to break that chain. It's hard for us to break those habits. But I guarantee you, especially those of you who are trying to lose weight or get in shape, this will be big for you if you just start simply looking at how much food you're putting on your plate. Put less than you think you need, especially when it comes to something that you like a lot. So any of you who likes proteins or any type of starches, like vegetables, macaroni and cheese, rice, things like that, or any kind of proteins like chicken, steak, beef, bacon, any of that stuff, take less. If you're still hungry, go back and get more. Just that alone, and the friction of having to get up and go back and get more, will probably lead to you eating less food. Now, some of you are going to do that and you'll still get up for seconds and thirds and eat the same amount that you normally did. But I guarantee you, in the big picture, this will slow down your consumption. This is a start to you getting in the kind of shape you want to get into. This is especially important for those of you who want to lose weight. And even those of you who don't want to lose weight, you just want to maintain great shape, eat less food. You don't need nearly as much as you have been taking in. It's designed for us to overeat and overconsume. That's why we got so many fat people. And it's crazy because I remember the first time I went to Europe, I was in Lithuania, and I'm looking around, and I was in the middle of the town. So there's a bunch of people walking around. I'm seeing all these people, and I would go to the middle of town like every day. And I never saw obese people. Never. I didn't see any obese people. In America, you see fat people everywhere you go. Fat people all the time, everywhere. You get on a plane, there's gonna be some fat people. You go to the grocery store, fat people. Wherever you live, your neighborhood, you see fat people. There are not fat people just walking around. In other countries, you don't see nearly as many of them. I'm not saying they don't exist. There aren't nearly as many of them in other countries as there are in America, which doesn't make sense. We're supposed to be so smart and so ahead of everybody. How is it that we got all these people who are overweight and completely out of shape? Not because we don't have the information, it's simply because we have things set up, structured for overconsumption. And that's what it is. So with all that, and that's not just limited to food, but that's all we're talking about in this video. So with all that said, you still have time to get tickets to my event, Work on Your Game Live, depending on when this video drops. The deadline is the 23rd, midnight on the 23rd, so it's technically the 22nd. So next Sunday, or this Sunday coming up, is the last day that you have to get your ticket to that event. That's at workonyourgame.live. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can get access to all my courses and my coaching programs. That's the next step to working with me. And then text me, tell me the best insight you got from this video. My number is 305-384-6894. Work on your game. Dre all day.